Oh, yes. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome one and all to the Daily HiFi Podcast. My name is John. I'm the Techno Dad, and always is with me is Joe from Joe and Tell and Michael, the Youth Man. What's up, fellas?
What's going on, man?
What's up? How you doing, man?
I'm great.
You're great. What are you eating today? That's always the question.
Oh, these are some random.
What's the snack of the day?
Snacks. This is the Santa Fe Hot Trail Mix.
Nice.
And some water. Not to be confused with vodka.
Oh, okay. It's a lot. I have some nuggets here that I'm not going to eat. I'll wait till afterwards. I got my coffee, though.
Nice. I just got my big thing of water. Let's go, man.
Let's do it.
Missed you guys last week.
I know. You were busy, huh?
Yeah, I was, man. I was.
I'm gonna be making some notes here of all the different questions. So we're gonna start doing timestamps on all these, so you can scrub through later on. If you can't watch the entire thing, then you'll be able to go in and just skip to a certain topic. Right? You don't have to watch the whole thing if you don't want to. So that's what I'm gonna be doing. If you see me over here doing something,
he's grading me and Sean. That's what he's really doing.
That's right.
Evaluation. Do we really want to keep these guys on the podcast?
So hey, I just got a standing desk.
I see that, man.
Way too much.
He was boxing behind the scene, man.
Yeah, you know what I mean. While you're like watching videos, you could do stuff. Yeah. Oh, I get a treadmill over here or something. Stationary bike. Who knows? You never know.
That's hilarious.
Oh man.
Well, you guys got some new toys too, right? Tell me about your new toys that you got in. Anything audio related?
Nothing audio related, man. I've been building a computer. Chana's been building a computer, and that's.
Well, I mean, I'm not building a computer. It's a Mac, so it's like pre-built. I'm just waiting to get my storage situation situated.
I'm building from scratch, man.
Yeah, that's that. I don't know. I don't know anything about that. I remember buying a gaming PC from Digital Storm, and like I just mentioned it to my subscribers and stuff, and they're like, "Oh, dude, you could have built one for much less by yourself." I'm like, "Dude, I do not have the time."
Yeah,
I mean, there's a trade-off, like money versus time, and I can always make more money, but I can't get back that time.
That's true. But it's also fun too, man. I know it took me longer than I thought it was going to take. That's for sure.
As long as you're having fun.
6 years. Last time I built one 6 years ago. A lot has changed. So a lot of the core stuff is still the same, but man, it's been a blast.
What's up to the folks in the chat here? Rockhurst. He says, who wouldn't want to watch these three guys for an hour and a half straight? I'm not sure if you're being sarcastic or not. There's definitely a few people who don't.
That's right.
Or who would, but they have to go to work or they have to do something. So
that's right. Busy lives, man. Busy lives.
True voice of reason. How many emails did you get today, and were there any manufacturers of note in them? Yes.
Ooh,
yes. So lots of emails today. It's kind of funny because I did a post and I was just saying that I email all these companies like throughout the week, right? Like I'll call somebody on Sunday. Some people will respond on, just depends. And it's funny. Almost all of them respond on Monday. Like Monday, my email inbox is full, and then Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, like towards the end of the week,
nothing.
So it's kind of like, are these people only working on Monday? Is that what's going on here?
The funny thing is trying to call them on a Friday, dude. They're so checked out.
And I
mean, like literally, like I don't really want to talk to you about this thing, man.
You guys know me. I'm on pretty much all the time. Yeah. Like there's no what day off. It's always on. So I'm ready. If all the companies were working, Monday through Sunday, I'm right there. So
he's ready to hustle.
I'm waiting on you guys. Anyway, noteworthy. Man, I don't know if I want to drop any of those yet. Maybe I'll wait.
Maybe wait half an hour.
It's gonna be good.
See what's happening.
We got a platinum sponsor. Let's just say that.
Yeah,
we got a platinum sponsor.
Platinum, bling, bling.
Just think of who can do that. Like who's able to do the top sponsorship? Who's the big boys? You know what I mean? Who are the big boys?
Who would
maybe that's a hint.
What's going on, Drew? Thanks for joining us, man.
Let's see. Architect of Zion. I have a 7.1 1080p system. What would you upgrade first? 4K, Atmos, or dual subs? I know Michael's probably. What did you say, Michael?
All right, let me think this through.
Drew says hello.
Through my filter.
Thinking about that.
I mean, I like dual subs. There's no doubt. Atmos. I think in this order: dual subs, then Atmos, then 4K.
Thanks, Drew. That's your order?
I think so. Yeah.
All right. Let's go.
Now, with that, as far as like 4K projector, I think there's going to be more difference in like contrast and color and that detail than just going from 1080p to 4K, and that's going to depend on the size of the your display.
Yeah, I think it's tough. If you want to upgrade right now, I would say go dual sub, only because this whole HDMI 2.1 thing needs to be shaken out, and that's gonna take at least 2 years. At least 2 years. Yeah, I mean, if you like, there were so many people upset on the video. Well, I'm sure you saw the comments in yours as well about the new Dentons, and they only have the one HDMI 2.1 input.
Yep.
They're like, there's only one input, but I'm a gamer.
I know it.
I need 3, 1, 4. I'm like, in my head, I'm like, dude, how much time are you playing games for on each console or each console and then your PC?
Right.
Are we being a little bit like, whoa, I need all of this? Not really. But hey,
it'd be really tough to unplug one and actually plug it in,
Don't they have switchers though? Are there switchers that are compatible with 2.1? I think there are, because they're not very expensive on Amazon. I just got a 4K switcher, just to switch inputs.
But 4K has been out since 2012.
Yeah, but I'm saying I'm wondering if there's one that's compatible with that.
I don't know. I don't know.
I haven't checked it. But I would go dual subs. Depending on you're saying 1080p. If it's a TV, I would probably go 4K on the TV.
Yeah.
If it's a projector, you won't notice as much of a difference. So it depends on that.
Okay, you mean?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm just saying projectors, for some reason, you can't tell as much of a difference.
And I don't know if, like I said, I think it has more to, you're going to see better like changes in, the contrast and that sort of thing versus just the 1080p to 4K. Even on a big screen, I mean, I've got a 150-inch screen, but I don't know if that jump was what I wowed about. I'm looking at colors like going, holy cow, this looks gorgeous. I'm looking at black levels that are insane, and I've never had that. Yeah, dude.
Oh, really? Oh, this is the JVC.
Yeah, the JVC.
Yeah.
Oh,
yes.
Don't make me hit up JVC.
Yeah.
I might have to
hit them up, man.
You'd have to install something on your roof, like floor mounted, to hold that.
I know. The thing is huge.
Dude.
I need a house for it. How about that?
50 pounds.
It's 50 pounds.
50 pounds, man. I made this custom kind of janky. It's not janky.
Shelf thing. No, I saw it. It looked good.
But it's like, it'll hold like probably, I don't know, 800 pounds at least.
Well, you're good.
I could climb up there and it'd support me.
There was a question from Rockhurst, also asked, can you get Kev to participate? We could, although really, I'm not chasing any of these companies in particular. We sent the email out there. The word is out. Whoever wants to participate can participate, but I'm not chasing down particular companies, but I do have contacts who can get them involved. But like I'm saying, maybe they can wait till the next time. I mean, I'm not rushing to, hey, please be part of this thing. It's like, it's out there. I have a lot of companies. I would like them though.
Got some cool giveaways coming up, man. Excited about that. If you guys are following us on Instagram, you see those popping up like daily. It's like, look what's up. Here's another one.
We better schedule. I think so we need to schedule it so we make sure to get all of them out, because there's such a backlog on them. Like, we're popping out. We probably might have to do a couple giveaways a day to make sure that we hit it in time, just because a lot of people are adding too. Yeah. So last minute people.
There you go. Man. It's gonna be wide open from now till go time, man. Seriously.
I like that. Look at that thing.
Yeah. What is this? I gotta sign in. Crap.
I was like,
so it's a cool looking old school stereo.
Yeah.
Fluence AI60s, those Wharfedales. I wish I could win those back. That would be cool. I like those the Larson 4.2s.
These guys right here, PSB. Remind me of those Ohm Walshes.
Yeah, those are pretty sweet.
Similar design. The PSB is a gold sponsor, so shout out to them.
Yep.
Lots of cool stuff. I'm very excited. Yeah, you can see there. Those are just some of them. Trust me, there are more.
There's more
that I can't even talk about. If you add up like how much all that costs, man, it's a lot. All right. What else we got in the chat here?
Let's see. Quick question from Gator, JMB Gator. So I'm debating between the Panasonic UB820 and the Sony X800 M2. Any advice? He also jumps in here and says, or the UB9000 if it's worth the extra dough. We're talking 4K Blu Ray players, gentlemen. I always recommend the UB820 because it's $500. And it's going to give you a better experience than the Sony X800 M2. So that's my situation owning both of them. I have I sold the UB9000, and the only difference between the UB820 and the UB9000 is the analog output. So if you're big into, listening to 2-channel music on CD or some sort of disc or FLAC files, I think it reads FLAC files. And you want something that's built like a tank. Now that's the one issue with the UB820. It's $500, but it's like all plastic. Like there's like a metal chassis. UB9000, it is it is $1,000. So double the price. But that thing is built like a tank. It's heavy too. It's heavy. Optimus Vader, who's usually in the chat and on here, he bought mine and he's like, "Wow, this thing's heavy" when he got it in. So
beefy build, man.
Hey, are you making sure? Are you going through this mic, Chana? Just make sure. In the meantime, yeah, tap on it. Let me see.
Oh,
no.
Son of a bitch.
Hey, Michael, do you want to read that question from Roland Allen Jr.? I thought you'd get a kick out of that.
Where's this at? Roland, where you at, buddy?
It's on screen.
Oh, yeah, but you got my thing. All right. Or the UB9000 if it's worthy of an extra.
I got my Monolith X7 delivered.
Oh, wait. You know what? I'm looking at 2 different screens. So this one's like way lagged behind. There we go. See, I can't even see, man. I've got this camera.
I know your camera
right here. So
here, I'm going to take a picture and show you what I'm doing, Mike. There you go. I'll send that in the chat.
There we go. Okay, I can see it over on the right. So it's got my Monolith X7 delivered. Holy poop. I think I dropped. Yeah, that thing. Trying to carry it in. Hey, that'll happen, man.
We want Mike to say no. That's really the situation.
I think
so. He's saying he almost got a hernia or something.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. He's got. Yeah. But he's excited, dude. That's awesome, man. Yeah, the Monolith X7, the X11, dude. Beefy amplifier, man. Cool. Happy for you, man. Congratulations. New toys are always exciting.
True Voice of Reason says, "Is that leak?" Yeah, so it is. I guess it's an old company that they've revived, which I like. I like that when they take an old company who maybe they kind of fell off after a while. There's a lot of companies like that. I think for a while, maybe Wharfedale wasn't doing too much. I think they were making all kinds of appliances. Like they were all over the place. And then they brought them back. So now Wharfedale is making some nice speakers, a lot of them that I really like. And maybe the same for this company, Leak. And so that's cool. Yeah. And he says he would like to win the combo. So would I. I'd like to win that combo.
Yeah. I'm trying to get it back up on screen here. Messing around.
Your audio's good, by the way.
There we go.
Much better, John.
Yeah, there's that leak right there. Ooh, that's so cool. I think I made a post that said all you need is that and those Wharfedales, and that'll turn anybody into Don Draper.
Nice.
Don Draper.
That's it. That's all you need right there. Oh, we got legendary Brown Note. This guy is I guess his channel's fairly newish and he's making some nice stuff. And he has a S2000, so we can be friends because that's a nice choice. Dude has like some crazy subs. Obviously by the name of his
I'm like S2000. Are we talking about Honda? Where are we going?
Yeah. He has a S2K. But legendary Brown Note. I guess he can hit the brown notes.
Mm-hmm.
Congrats.
Drew says that he's had the UB820 and then he uses Xbox and the difference is massive. with both sound and picture, even with regular Blu-ray discs. There you go. I've been saying that for a while. Don't skip out.
Yep.
Don't skip out.
Go big or go home, man.
Here,
So,
check out what Squeegee's comment is here, Joe.
Are you automatically entered in the giveaway since I have a ticket? No. So you have to actually enter the giveaways because each company has its own set of rules. So you want to go to that company and enter their giveaway.
Go to their
because
page in the
they,
Hi-Fi Summit.
yeah, they might be doing something different. It might be, US only. I don't know. Whatever the rules are, it's up to them. We're just hosting it.
Yeah.
All right.
I think the best thing to do, since there are so many giveaways, you have the the Hi-Fi Summit main page up. Boom, open a new tab. Go to all the brands and start filling out all of the giveaways while you're listening to the main podcast on the main page.
See, John is a multitasker madman.
There you go. Great idea.
That's how you do it.
John's like, that's how I win all the goodies. I got a question here from Daniel. Should I put the X3600 Eco mode on if I power all my 11 channels with an external amp to save power, and will it affect my sound quality? Now that's
a good question.
Normally, I don't advise Eco mode because you're kind of limiting the power supply, but I don't know what happens when you've got external amplification.
Yeah, I don't think that would make any difference.
I don't know
in sound, would it?
I don't think so. I wouldn't imagine so. I haven't tested it, but I would guess that it wouldn't.
I think the best thing, like even with audio, is just try it. There's a lot of guys like, they'll say, hey, what would happen if I did this? Try it.
And you're like, I don't know. I don't know. I can tell you what will probably happen in my room, but in your room, I don't know.
Just try it. And the reality is my ears may like it, if I change it, and yours may not. So the best thing to do is for you to try it in your setup with your equipment and with your ears and just see what your ears prefer. So, but honestly, I don't know. I don't know if that would change it.
I would say also hit them up. You might get Philip Jones over there, and he'll be able to answer all those questions. But
oh my goodness,
I mean, they're all pretty good about responding over there.
Yeah.
Let's see here.
The
other thing,
Dean says it's okay.
Real quick, another thing is to Squeegee. You said that if you have to be logged in to win, so the giveaways are also extended past the actual event itself, and we have to do that for legal reasons, right? Because we can't say a purchase is necessary, so it will extend out. So you'll be able to do it, let's say till July 5th, right? So there you go.
Oops.
What else? Daniel says it tested it so far. It sounds the same. Just wanted input from you as far as the eco mode.
Yeah. Again, I don't see how it would make a difference as far as like in a negative way, as long as you're removing that amplification from the internal power supply, from those internal amps.
So he says I tested it out so far. It sounds the same. Just want an input from you. Thank you. Cool.
Chana, that's how you snipe all those eBay auctions. True.
Yeah, actually, I learned a long time ago to get a little sniping program.
Mm-hmm.
So it'll actually do it the second before the thing's over, and you set like your
limit,
your ceiling. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I used to do it the old way. My wife got all mad one time because I didn't use that for some Doc Martin boots.
Auction sniper.
Right.
Yeah. And she got all mad. Why don't you use that sniper thing?
Right. She lost out.
Whoops.
Is it random questions? Yes. So Local Fab, if you've got some questions that you want to ask away.
Yeah, and I think, are we going to take a caller at some point?
We can anytime.
All right, let me put up the number here. You guys, we can call in, chit chat, all that stuff. Graham's.
Go ahead.
I'll put it up. Graham says eco mode makes a difference on low volumes.
See, I would think the opposite. Like,
yeah, me too.
Like if you're cranking it, eco is where it's really going to struggle. If you're using internal amplification. So interesting.
That's what I would think. Yeah.
Well, it sounds like if you're not using all the power, it probably limits because they're not using a lot of power right now anyway.
Maybe.
I don't know.
I don't use it. like I said, I want I want all the available horsepower I can from my amp, even if it means it's running hot because I put one of those air comms on top. So
That's what you paid for.
let her rip, man. Oh, speaking of that though, the new Denon receivers now have a feature that was previously only included in the 8500 series. And so it literally turns off and kind of disconnects internally the internal amplification if you're using, what do they call that? It was preamplifier mode, I think is what it's called.
Yep, preamplifier mode.
Mm-hmm.
The only thing is, it's all of them. So if you have 11 channels,
right,
and you want preamplifier mode on, you have to be externally amplifying all of them.
Yeah, you can't be using a 3-channel and then getting the best of both worlds.
Right. I think the cool part about that is it's there. The cooler part is if they were able to implement that into some sort of way where you can just turn off the front stage, and then have everything else run, or turn off 5-ear level speakers. I mean, there should be a way to do that. And I one of the things, I've known with AV receivers, like they are the caboose end of the technological train. Like it is, everything is where like 5 years into the future, we're still on 1990 menus. Like what is going on? The technology changes really, really slow. So that's another thing, like with why I said earlier, wait, a couple of years if you want to upgrade your receiver or whatever, because it'll be a couple of years before we get all HDMI 2.1 ports, all 8 ins and 3 outs or whatever that's on these things. So it's just like one of those things, baby steps. We get a little bit here, in a couple of years, we get a little more.
We get it.
And I mean, these guys are producing AVRs like pretty much every year. It's like a 12 to 18 month cycle for these products. So I mean, if they give us everything at once, what are they going to make money on in the next year and a half?
I have a question. So both of you guys did videos on the new Denon and Marantz, right? What are your top 3 favorite features?
Oh, that's a good
top
question.
3, because they announced a bunch of different things. But what are the 3 you're like, oh, that's cool, I'm excited about that?
A lot of it was geared towards gamers, So if you're gaming, there's definitely some good stuff there with the auto low latency. Then they had 2 other ones on there as well. So
what I think out of the whole lineup, I think the biggest upgrade and the coolest one, in my opinion, is the X6700H, because they did the trickle down. So now we got 13 channels of processing in an AV receiver that's under $3,000. Now, previously, Denon's only AVR that has 13 channel processor was $4,000. So now we bring that down to 2,500. So that's good. I like that.
$199.
Okay.
And then there's the DTSX Pro. So previously, DTSX was limited to 11 channels. So when Dolby went to 13, DTSX was still at 11, right? So now DTSX Pro, we got 13 channels of processing, and it'll actually, allow you to have 30 speakers or something ridiculous.
For the software. Now, just keep in mind, you can't do that with the actual unit. The unit will
not yet. Yeah.
Yeah, that particular unit will still only do 13 channels, even though the software side of it, with the DTSX Pro, can support more channels.
Anything else that you're excited about? How about the low price one? I thought you were pretty excited about that.
I think it's not that big of a upgrade over last year's. I think the best upgrade over the last generation is the 6700. Even the 3700, it's minor upgrade from the 3600 that I was recommending pretty much all of the end of last year and beginning of this year.
How about that mode where you can switch between the different profiles?
I think that's pretty slick.
That's
especially
cool.
Somebody that wants to have a home theater setup maybe, and say a 2-channel setup, so you can calibrate with Audyssey kind of one way, or your crossovers one way, or it just gives you more flexibility, and to be able to do it straight from the remote, without even having to go
to the app.
menu.
That's kind of handy, but I already have the app, so
I want to know how fast it switches. Is the question that I have.
oh right, yeah,
Like, is it quick?
That's right.
I think it'll be
That's what
quick.
I want to know.
I really think
It's got to be like pretty instant. Because
Yeah.
if it's like the app, it takes like 30 seconds at least.
I think another thing that I think is pretty good, and it's one of those, is it a deal breaker? No, when you don't have it. But think about when you switch between sources, and those sources have like different frame rates and different things. And so you get this like blackout screen,
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it's not a big deal, but it doesn't look smooth, And so if they can get that to where it's like, all right, you change it, boom, it's there. That'd be like,
Yeah, that's the new like active switching feature. So they put in a lot of like little things.
Yeah, like I said, it's not a deal breaker if you didn't have that, but it's like, okay, I like that feature, man.
I mean, I do like. Okay, so I have the 6500H and I had the 3600H, and one of the coolest features on the 3600H was auto naming. So it just senses what your device is, and then it puts a name on the front of the AVR. So that's fantastic.
Cool. Nice.
Yeah. So you don't have to like, okay, write it down, HDMI 1 cable, when you're connecting it.
You don't like using that little remote going up,
oh my God.
Enter, over.
Man, screw that noise.
What is this? What is this thing that, who's saying this? Rocker says, how many installers will buy the cheap model for the HDMI tester inside of it? What is that? Because I didn't watch the presentation. I couldn't do it.
And see, that was more geared for the installers. So I just kind of glanced over there. I'm like, yeah.
Do they have a way to test like HDMI? That's kind of cool.
Something about remotely.
Yeah, remotely.
Kind of dial into it and see, okay, where's the issue? It's in regards
so
to
if you're a custom, go ahead.
Just, is it a cable that's not being able to transmit that high of bandwidth? And so then they can kind of, instead of having to go out to the customer's, home or location, they can say, okay, it looks like here's what you need to do. Order this from Amazon or whatever. I'll ship you one or whatever.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, they started doing that. The first time I went to CEDIA, 2018, they started doing that. It's mainly a custom integrator thing, and they do that a lot with Marantz too. Like Marantz has tons of like crazy settings. But yeah, let me get back to this. So Legendary Brown Note asks, what does the Trinnov provide over the X6700H? So basically, the Trinnov's got the Altitude 32, which does 32 channels of processing. And I don't know about you guys. So I know Shane from Spare Change, he got one. And if you've seen the microphone for this thing,
yeah, it looks like a little rocket ship.
It's like all weird. Probe. Yeah, it's some sort of alien
looks
probe.
Like Medusa.
Exactly.
Yeah,
Medusa.
Yeah, don't sit on it, man. Don't like leave it in your couch, and it's gonna make for a rough night.
What is Spare Change reviews? What is his Instagram? Because I think there was a.
Oh yeah, he posted a picture of it, I think.
Yeah, I want to put that up. So basically, it's like a 3D microphone.
So I think isn't there several microphones in that one microphone?
Yeah, that's how it works. Oh, here it is. Okay, I'll share the screen.
You're gonna pull that up.
Yep. Boom.
But do they come with a cool rocket ship?
So look at that. Look at that. That's the. And I think so this little stand thing or this something didn't come with it, and so he had to wait until he actually got it done. But yeah, it's a 3D microphone from Trinnov.
What is it trying to do? Like kind of trying to triangulate or trying to figure out how it sounds in multiple positions?
Yeah,
you place that mic in more than one position afterwards.
Probably.
Too.
So it's gonna be sounding awesome, I would imagine. I've heard the Trinnov like only twice, and those were on some really ridiculous systems. He's got the 16, so this is the 16 channel one, and there is a 32. Like if you really want to like kick some butt.
How much is that 16 channel one?
I don't know. Let's Trinnov Altitude
12,000 or 14, I think.
12,000. That's weak.
I think.
Well, that's weak.
Should have got the 32. Oh my god.
That's a Lexicon. What is this? Where's the price? 16,000.
Oh, 16. Jeez.
The 32 is priced at 18,000 to 33,000 for an upgraded one. What?
Wonder if they're gonna do a giveaway.
Yeah. Yeah, I doubt that one.
Let's see.
They'll give away the microphone.
The mic, that's it. That's all you get.
No, you get a free mic stand. That's
Oh, there you
that's
go.
what it is.
That's awesome. So what is your least favorite feature from the Denons? Like, what do you think's like, it's all right?
Who, mine?
Yeah, any of you.
Oh.
To me, I think it's the 8K. Like I said, I just think
yeah.
and not because that's not a great thing. I just think that, number one, we're a long ways away from that being really mainstream. And so I don't think people should just get, oh man, I got to have the 8K receiver, with the new game consoles. Okay, maybe I could see that. But if you're talking movie watching, it's going to be a while. And to me, I would almost rather wait. If that was your primary focus, like you want an 8K display and want an 8K receiver, let that technology kind of evolve and get better, because over time it always gets better and it gets cheaper with just about everything in technology.
I know for me, I would say what I was most disappointed with, I would say, is that they still look the same as, like, I don't know, maybe a 7-year-old. If I compare this with like a 7-year-old Denon receiver, I don't know that you'd be able to tell too much of a difference, unless you knew, like, oh, they're not using the same type of like nameplate anymore. But other than that, they're like, here's the new one. Like, that looks pretty much the same as the other one. So maybe maybe a little bit of design change, not a big deal. At the end of the day, it's not a big deal. And then I wish they would have updated Audyssey. I think that needs a little bit of an update. If they did that, I'd be like, ooh,
get some tweak there.
Yeah, like a little bit more, maybe to make it compete a little bit more with Dirac. Something like that.
Yeah.
Maybe the next time. 2021.
Maybe.
I mean, if you don't have one, it's just because I have a 4500, so that's last year's model, and so I wouldn't feel compelled to upgrade coming from there. But if you don't have one at all, then yeah, sure, go out and get one, no problem, right? It's just if you're the type of person who wants to upgrade, you want a reason to upgrade, right? I don't know that there are a ton of reasons, unless you do have 8K and you need some of those features and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Oh, man, I was thinking about an upgrade earlier this week, and I started measuring out.
What you doing over there?
77-inch OLED.
Oh, yeah?
Ooh,
I think
you
TV 80.
80 can't go. No, the 85 is the 8K, and it's like $50,000.
Double.
Yeah, they do make it. Yeah, it's a 85-inch 8K.
Nice.
But yeah, no, I'm thinking about that. So
somebody had a question about the Denton 85th. Where's that?
Yeah. Why is nobody reviewing it except for Joe? Because Joe is the only smart reviewer on YouTube. That's why. There it is. I put it up.
Okay. Local Fab says, how come the Denon 85th speakers aren't being reviewed by everyone? Only YouTuber reviewed them. Is Joe asking because I fell in love with them, and I'm not sure why they're not getting their place. I don't know. I've tested those Denton 85th, and I've heard the Lintons. Those are amazing.
Actually, I wanted to check out the Lintons. Those are the 3-way ones with the like built-in rack or whatever stand.
Yeah, I think you'd like them. I think you'd like them because they look cool and they sound good. I mean, it's the whole package, right? It's the entire package. That's the reason I like them so much. But yeah, I don't know why. Maybe they need to send them out to more YouTube reviewers. Or promote it more.
Definitely.
Yeah. I love them. That's still on the top.
Still on your leaderboard, top of the leaderboard, right?
Top of the leaderboard. Yeah. Daniel says, should I get a UMIK-1 and a MiniDSP 2x4 to get the most out of my system? Michael?
It's going to take some time to learn it, man. That's all I got to say. It's good. I'll be honest with you. It really changed the dynamics of the low end for my setup. I was able to do, I've got some major issues in my room. And part of it maybe because I'm putting, my subwoofers directly behind my screen. May not be the most optimal place, but that's where I've chosen to place them. And so to get the best performance out of them, the MiniDSP was able to do something that, talking about Audyssey earlier, Audyssey was not able to do, but that is where you literally can go in and you can time align them, and physically see with REW what's happening, which delay is going to perform the best in your room and in your setup and in that location. So definitely, I highly recommend it. But like I said, it's a pretty steep learning curve. And so you're just going to need to have some patience. It's not one of those things where you hit auto cal and then you've got this amazing sound. You're going to be dialing in some stuff. I had a guy that knew what he was doing, and he literally spent 4 hours on the phone, and
4 hours.
4 hours dialing.
That's a good friend right there.
Seriously, man. Oh, but he loves it though, and that's the thing. He lives for this.
So
stuff.
You're doing him a favor,
yeah,
by allowing him to mess with yours.
Yeah, I'm allowing him to just use his creativeness. I mean, because think about it. He's like, dude, look what I just did to Youth Man Setup. I just took him to the next level.
I know, he was probably super excited.
Yeah, absolutely, man. Great dude. Yeah,
Chana, you don't have too much experience with MiniDSP yet, right? Okay.
No.
What I would say to that is get it right away, just because it's a fun learning experience, right? You really get to understand what your speakers are doing. When you use Audyssey, yeah, it gives you like a little graph and a target response that's not really it's just a wishful thinking.
Right.
But you want to see what your system is actually doing. You're going to need to mess around with a calibrated mic and REW.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, I got the mic. It's around here.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
To me,
got the mic already.
Halfway there.
Yeah.
Baby
The
step.
software is free, right?
Like
So,
the calibration mic is great because you get to see what's going on, and you can play with some settings like your phase on your subwoofers, or you can play with adjustments. But that's really
would I need to do that because my subwoofers are stacked? Like sitting on top
I
of
would
each
want to
other?
know. If I were you, I'd want to know.
Yeah.
If I were anybody, I'd want to know what my speakers are actually doing
sure.
in my, or of course,
that
there's a method to how you measure as well.
Yeah.
And so you can get real bad measurements if you don't do it correctly. Also,
Would I measure at my main listening position?
you would probably want to do that also. You want to measure up close to see what's going on. You want to see what's going on, so that's what the speakers are actually doing, or kind of. It's not anechoic, but whatever. You measure up close, and then you want to sit down and see what is it doing over here. Maybe it lost all the bass, or maybe it, what happened. And so you want to compare those things. Yeah, I mean, I would definitely invest. Here's another example, right? So I have a sub in for review. And so like some of these subs, a lot of subs do this, where it's very peaky, right? Boom. So it goes up and maybe, 60, 70, 80 hertz. It's just like, right?
It's like the HiFi Summit right there.
Like the Summit, right? Boom. And so what happens is it's hard to get a nice transition from your main speakers to that sub, because as soon as it transitions, boom, it has this huge peak. And so what'll happen is, let's say if I take that same sub and I throw it onto my system and I let Audyssey kind of, figure it all out. Now, this particular sub that I'm testing out can hit really, pretty high SPLs, like it's capable. It's a capable sub. So you'd expect like it doesn't hit 20 hertz at minus 3 dB, right? And so that's a problem for me, but it could. Just that, it's just that the 60, 80 hertz peak is so high, like 20 decibels up, right? So when Audyssey tries to calibrate it, it just says, well, I don't think it can do 20 hertz, right? Because it's so low on there. So what it'll do, I think I said this before, but it'll basically think that sub can't hit 20 hertz. And when it calibrates it, it just flattens it out, cuts off the peak, but it doesn't let it go down to 20 hertz. But what you could do is, let's say if you were to calibrate it first with MiniDSP and then you made it flat, right? You made it flat and tell it like, so when Audyssey finally does a calibration, it says, oh, I can hit 20 hertz. Let me just kind of, make it match the rest of the speakers. So in that case, you would need a MiniDSP to get the most out of that sub. Just an example. What else we got?
We got, hey, youth man, what do you think of the Epson 4000? And somebody making fun of me eating.
Chana's always eating, man. He's always got his snacks. But
Yeah,
how come you don't ever share?
I mean, hey, you know, is
Hey,
scratch
you-
and smell.
Dude, you got my address, man. Just hook me
I'll
up.
ship it to you. I get it, and then we can
So-
all eat the same snack.
Same snacks. You know, we'll just take turns. We'll rotate it every week. Joe will send one to both of us,
Yeah.
and then I'll send.
That would be fun to just exchange snacks.
That's right, dude.
It'll become one of those like review. Like after when we do the podcast, we also review this thing,
The snack.
sharpen up our review skills.
Oh mercy.
What else we got?
Looking through here.
Local fab about those Dentons and Lintons. What would you pair them with? First setup for me. Also, what would be the difference between them? Mine for now is 50 music, 50 TV. What would I pair them with? I mean, they're pretty easy to power, so you don't have to have anything specific, but they will take the extra power. So if you want to add more power, it'll take it, but you don't need to.
Easy.
Yeah, they're not super sensitive in that sense. It's just like they can play nicely with different amplifiers that I've tested them with. They're 6 ohm speakers, so make sure they can do 6 ohms at least.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think especially those Lintons are they're pretty efficient. The sensitivity number wouldn't show that. When you look at that sensitivity number, it's nothing impressive like the clip speakers, but it's like they're those type that the bass still sounds good. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
So you can pair it with I would pair it with something that looks cool. I would pair it with like a old school vintage amp or that Leak amp. I think I would like to keep that same look. Or I love the way that it sounded with this Yamaha AS501.
The 500,
yeah. Or 700 if you want to go a little higher. Get the silver one. Get that silver face. The Dentons. Oh, you're set. Don Draper.
Or even if if you had a little extra coin, you could afford 1200 on the amplifier. Go with the new classic 200 from Parasound.
Oh yeah,
you'll have a pretty awesome setup there.
Yeah.
I got to reach out to them and get those Lintons in. Those things look cool.
Dude, I think you might be like, ooh, I like these. They would compete nicely with some of those the bigger clip stuff.
Yeah,
they're not that huge though. That's the difference. They're like reasonably sized.
Reasonable.
Sized.
They got a pretty big sound.
Yeah, and they have real wood veneer.
Cool.
Right? So that's the cool thing, kind of like the higher end clip stuff. What's the difference between them? The Denton is just a 6.5 and a tweeter, so 2-way, and the Linton is a 3-way with I think a 8-inch, and then I think that's 6.5, something like that, maybe a 5-inch mid range, and the same tweeter. Yeah, so bigger sound from the bigger speaker.
There you go.
Let's see what else we got here. Hey, what do you guys think of the Yamaha A2080 internal components? I had the A2080. And you know what I like about one of the things I like about the Yamaha? I don't like YPOW. I think Audyssey. I think the Audyssey, what is it, XT32 is better than YPOW. And but Yamaha does use my favorite DACs in their receivers. So they use those ESS Sabre DACs. So I like that. Other internal components are. I think one of the crappy parts is even with the A2080, like, you have to, if you want 11 channels, you have to use a power amplifier. I think there's only the really, really high end one does it come with all 11, amplifier channels.
Kind of stinks. You know what I mean? It's like, because people buy it and they're thinking, oh yeah, I got 11 channels, and they're like, what? There's only 9 plugs here, for speakers. They're like, what the heck?
Yeah. My boy Andrew Edwards up in Seattle, he got it and he's like, why did I have to get an amplifier for this? I'm like, man, you should have talked to me before you reached out to Yamaha and we would have got you one so you don't have to waste that shelf space there.
Yeah.
It's kind of interesting because Yamaha is known for their 2-channel stuff.
Right.
Their integrated 2-channel stuff is great. Nobody ever complains about them. It's just when you start getting into that AVR space where people are like, I don't know. Even though, what's that?
I think it's because it's competitive.
Very competitive.
Oh,
I mean, the price point.
Yeah.
And they're known for using good components, so not cheaping out on the component side. But I think it's just different when you start getting into the AVR space because there's so much other technology incorporated in addition to the amplifiers. Yeah.
Yeah,
You
it's
know,
a tough little thing.
one of the receivers that I used to love, and I was surprised that they just fell off the planet, man, was Harman Kardon. You know, they had a couple of really nice, I thought they were pretty nice AVRs for home theater. Sounded great. A little bit different. They kind of had their own proprietary
Stuff.
I'm trying to remember what it was
Stuff
called.
going on.
Like high current amps. I remember their high current was their main thing.
I think it was like Easy Setup or something like that. It was just kind of a weird
Ooh.
cheesy name. So
Yeah.
they sounded good though. I like
They
them.
look good too. Remember? They used to look really cool.
Yeah, dude. Lots of power in them. High current.
Got some Techno Dad questions here.
They're no more.
Yeah, from James. Let's see. He's got this first one was how's the C9? Well, it's great. It's gorgeous. I have the E9, which is the same exact like picture quality, same processing, everything. It's just on a piece of glass. So that looks really hot in my living room on my glass and metal TV stand. So it's all glass and glass. Glass on glass on glass. So I like that. I also got it pre-calibrated before it came here. So that's huge. And I know a lot of people, you know, you're gonna have somebody come to your house, Joe, and calibrate your projector or TV. Not right now,
at this particular moment.
No. So
Maybe another time.
it was a cool service from Value Electronics. So I mean, I'm in the situation where somebody from Reno has to come here to Mammoth, and they were quoting me like $900
Wow.
to do that for one TV. And I'm like, how about my bedroom TV since you're here? Oh, it's going to be another 500. I'm like, get the fuck out of here. Like, it was just ridiculous. So, I mean, $600 sounds like a lot of money, but for me, that was 300 less.
Yeah.
So they do a quality control check. They actually inspect the panel for damage or defects. And he said that my panel was actually brighter than most OLED panels. So that was pretty cool. And they calibrated for SDR, Lightroom, Darkroom, HDR, Lightroom, Darkroom, and for streaming and for games, all kinds of stuff. So they give you all the reports and everything. So, it's like, I don't have to think about it. Right. Like you can get auto cal and you can spend $1,200 to $1,400 to get the tools. And all these new TVs have an auto CalMan calibration, but you still need to have like the little reader in the software. So that's going to be around $1,200 to $1,400. So if you wanted to spend $3,000 on a TV, then another $1,400.
So it's not like the calibrated mic, $99, right?
No.
In order to get that tool, you're gonna have to spend
like an endless rabbit hole, man.
Yeah, exactly. And I'm like, well, if I do all this, should I just start
You're a calibrator now.
Calibrate and become a calibrator? Like, this is all ridiculous.
You can
like,
start off your video like that. Hey, I'm a professional calibrator. You do that?
I'm a
Give me a call, do it remotely.
And YouTube reviewer.
I'll ship you the tool and some snacks, and
there we go.
We can
video
do
time.
We'll just do it all remotely, and you ship it back to me. Be all set up, man.
Yeah, right. Oh man.
And I had to make a note here, explicit, because Chana always sets that off. Explicit. I gotta make sure that I note that.
Yeah, right. Not safe.
Grading ourselves now.
Sammy Debs. Hi guys. What do you guys think about the Canton Vento?
I haven't seen those Canton Vento.
Well, your buddy K-Pace guy just did a review. He just got those. I think they're those Canton Ventos. They look awesome.
That's what he's got.
Yeah, he just got some new speakers, upgraded.
896.
He says that those floor standards are rated to 20 hertz. I would like to see a measurement on those because they're not huge drivers, but they're claiming 20 hertz. I'm curious to see.
I like that white finish on there, man. That looks nice.
Oh, they look nice. German.
I've never had any white speakers. Like even.
Oh, these look great. Yeah, look at this.
Awesome.
Cherry gloss finish.
Man.
I don't want to send you a message. Get out of here.
Hey, that's in my neck.
1,500.
Accessories for less. They're around the corner from me over in Orlando.
All right, let's go to their main site here. Oh, I like this black. Look at that.
Ooh.
Yeah.
There's some nice looking, and you can tell the drivers are custom. You've never seen those before.
Mm-mm.
You know, a lot of the other ones you see, like, I know that driver. That's an SB Acoustics driver. But those look completely custom, and I like that. Them, Focal makes their own drivers.
Mm-hmm.
I wish they would show like real speakers instead of kind of like CGI or whatever you want to call it.
Here's some real ones.
Rendered?
Yeah.
Rendered. Yeah, rendered. There you go.
You
The
think
white
those
one
are
looks
renders?
cool.
What if they're just great photography?
Dude, nah. You
No?
can't.
It could be. No, I think they're regular pictures.
Look at that crazy line going there. Look at the
Yeah,
light.
dude, they just got the
Yeah.
lighting and they did a white curvy
I could do
brown
that.
background.
That's a big honking light, bro.
I'm gonna do one for you
All
just
right.
to prove it. To you.
Joe's
Or it's
get
a
a
miniature. Maybe that's a miniature.
Okay. I'm just thinking, man, that's huge.
Yeah.
But that
we could do
white
it.
looks sweet, man. I like that.
Yeah. So yeah, we don't know too much. Obviously, we're just over here looking at the speaker. All we can say is look cool.
Yeah, what are their
Canton is
product
very,
data?
there's a lot of stuff about Canton. People always say Canton. I've actually heard some Cantons and they sound.
Oh, I was at CES, all right, and I was trying to hear these Canton speakers, and man, these guys were just annoying. Like they were like, "Oh yeah, we can play you some stuff." I'm like, "Cool, can here? I have some CDs," and they're like, "Oh no, we got some stuff to play for you." I'm like,
That
"All
was
right,"
the company you were talking about.
and
Oh,
we
that-
sat there and like nothing. Like
There you
he's like,
go.
"Oh, just hold on. We got to wait for our guy to come and do the demo." Okay. We waited there for like 20 minutes and they're playing nothing but jazz. And I'm like, "Can I get something with a little bit of bass?" Like I like the jazz. I can hear it's detailed and nice and articulate, but there's no bass. Can we get some bottom end? And then I was just like, "Maurice, let's get out of here." Like it was lame.
Man,
done with
see,
that.
there
But
you
they
go,
look nice.
companies. If you ever see that face right there, you see that face, you make sure to treat him well.
Let me
And you
play
play
my
something with
records
some
and
bass.
CDs.
That's right.
Damn it.
You play something with bass for that man. Otherwise, he's gonna put you on blast over here.
Yeah, that's right. But it was Canton and Esoteric. So Esoteric, they had a full Esoteric equipment rack or something that was like 80,000, and the Cantons were like 60,000. At least the guy told me what the price was.
Man.
Yeah.
Too bad we couldn't hear anything. We could actually, figure out if it was worth the price.
Maybe they didn't want you to play any 20 hertz test tones.
Oh, maybe. Plug my phone right in.
I don't think the legendary brown note would have been excited about that speaker.
Yeah, but I've heard them. They sounded punchy. They have that sense of like dynamics. You know what I mean? They feel like they want to just
and,
like.
I mean, those things are
attack you.
$3,000 a piece. Is that right? $3,000
Yeah, they're
a piece?
expensive. They're pretty expensive. Neil Hansen asks if NAD is going to be at the HiFi Summit, and they will.
They
Yeah.
will. Yep.
Yeah.
They are showing.
Yeah, NAD, PSB, they all have the same parent company. So PSB is a gold sponsor, and yeah, they'll definitely be there. They're going to be doing a giveaway of the third, I think D3045. I don't know if I've announced that yet, but they are. It's that cool Class D amp that has the HDMI that I always ask for.
Yeah.
It has HDMI ARC. So they're giving one of those away. I think it's like, what is that? $700 for that little amp. So it's cool. You have some little bookshelf speakers. You can connect that to your TV. Very cool stuff. Yeah, NAD, Bluesound, Chana.
Mm-hmm. Bluesound, they do a lot of the streaming stuff. I like their. I actually have some of their. I got to open it, man. I got so much product here. It's ridiculous. I got their sound bar. They sent me a sound bar and then one of their little satellite speaker deals so that I can play something upstairs, have it going on in the sound bar in the bedroom, and then the little satellite, tiny little speaker either in the studio or in the bathroom. I don't know. My wife likes to shower with the music on, so it's easier to have a speaker there in the bathroom instead of blasting the music in the living room to try and hope it gets all the way back there.
Yeah. So you're a fan of Bluesound, right?
Yeah.
You like their sound. Have you seen the power node, the powered version?
Yeah.
Yeah,
I've seen the power node. It's a nice little 2-channel situation. If you're just into streaming and you want something compact, and I think they're trying to go for that like Sonos kind of aesthetic, right? Right, but a little bit more hi-fi orientated, right? They also they sent me the Vault, so that's the Node 2i with like a NAS drive, so you can actually, and it's a CD ripper, so you can put a CD in there, rip your entire collection, and then you have that as well as all the streaming. So that's kind of cool. I haven't opened it yet, but
have you? So the power node, I think also it's an amplifier streamer, and I think it also has HDMI ARC. So they're doing a giveaway of that too.
Nice.
now let's check it out.
Power node.
Here it is. Power node 2. Yeah, 2i with HDMI. Just need to share the screen. Here we go.
There you go.
Boom.
See, that
It
thing
looks
cool,
slick
right?
too, man. It looks really.
I like them in white.
It doesn't look like the typical, amplifier that you're used to seeing.
Yeah. So you got your speaker outputs here.
Put that next to a Mac Mini or something.
There you go.
Boom. Done. Love it.
With HDMI. I like how they made it all huge. I wonder if they're like, hey, this guy
There it is.
like
I just need to put in Joe and Tell right next to that.
Yeah, I know, right?
Joe and Tell approved. There you go. That's what they need a stamp, Joe.
Kyle needs to take a bunch of drinks right now because that's one of the rules. He has to take a shot every time I say HDMI ARC.
Oh yeah. You're playing the drinking game along with the daily hi-fi. So this is the one they sent, which is the same thing as the Node 2i, but it has the NAS drive in there.
And you got the Vault 2i with it?
Vault 2. They sent this also for me to check out. The high res, 2 terabytes. And it's rip your CDs if you still have CDs. I have a lot of CDs.
So it's unavailable because Chana has the only one.
I've got the only one. Yeah.
Oh, that's
sorry,
cool.
fellas. I think it is sold out in a lot of places, but
I like that. Super clean.
Yeah, it's that new aesthetic, right? You make everything look nice.
Yeah, you'd want to show this off to me.
Mm-hmm.
You don't stick it in a cabinet. Be nice to just kind of have it out on display.
You know who else is going to be there? Speaking of amplifiers, is Cherry.
Oh yeah, Cherry Amplifiers,
amplifier company.
Yeah,
so they have some pretty cool stuff and super powerful,
really small and really light. When they sent me the Maraschino amplifier, this thing is like 650 watts by 2, man, and it's smaller than that device, than the Node.
It's tiny.
It's little, dude. And it didn't weigh anything. I was like, what?
But it had a separate power supply thing, right? So it was
even that wasn't heavy.
It's crazy because I asked them over there, I'm like, so which modules are you using? They're like, no, we make our own.
Yeah.
So they design their own Class D modules. So very cool. I'm excited for that. Yeah, there they are.
Tommy's a good guy, man.
Jack. Yeah.
Yeah, he paired up with JTR, with Jeff at JTR. And so at Axpona last year, I don't know if that was the first year or they've been doing it for a while with him, but they'll power all of the JTRs with the Cherry amplifiers.
Right there.
So we got some home theater gear. I mean, look at that. 400 watts on 4 ohms, 208 ohms.
And look at the harmonic distortion and signal to noise ratio is really high.
Woo! Look at that.
Yeah, 0.002. So
0.02.
That's nice. So yeah, very cool stuff. We got them over there. They're going to be giving away a bunch of stuff too. So some of this nice stuff here.
Version. What's the King version?
I think additional, I think it's just higher wattage, I believe.
And a different faceplate right there.
The red faceplate. Okay, gotcha.
So yeah, they make all their own custom stuff. So that's very cool. And a cool guy too.
Go up to like a 2-channel Maraschino. Yep. So you see that little block on the, yep. So he sent me one of those, that red one right there. So that's kind of like, that's like the preamp side of it. And then there's another small box that's the amplifier down at the very bottom of that stack.
What's the wattage on that?
It's like, I can't remember. I think it's like 600 watts.
That'd be crazy, right? I remember thinking is that real? I told him too when I was on the phone. I'm like,
I was so doubtful.
I'm like, those don't sound realistic.
I did, man. I picked it up and I'm like, I just expected you think 600 watts, man, this is going to be heavy as crap. Nope.
Yeah.
Man.
So that's Tommy over there is the guy I was talking to. He's the owner and he's the one who makes all that stuff. Very cool. Yeah. And Rob E is asking about super chats over here. Thank you for the thought, but not at the moment because this new channel that we're using is not monetized yet. Right? So we're not able to get anything yet, but it's okay.
We got to build it up. We'll figure it out
pretty soon. What else we got?
We got Roland Allen Jr. I love my Yamaha 3080, but thinking of going Marantz Preamp. What's your opinion? Mike, don't you have one?
I've got the Marantz 7705. Not familiar with the Yamaha though. I had a Yamaha RXV 1800, so we're talking 13 years ago, maybe. So I haven't literally heard a Yamaha since then. So I don't know how that's going to compare, but I know to me the biggest difference I heard when I went from when I was just adding an amplifier to receivers, you know, whether it was a Denon or Marantz or back when I had a Harman Kardon, then I had the Yamaha, all of those, I didn't really hear a big difference in my setup, you know, with my clip speakers being so efficient. But then when I went to the 7705, I was like, you know, am I really going to hear a difference? I really did. To me, the channel separation was the biggest benefit that I heard from going from, you know, a receiver to that.
To separates.
Yeah, but I'm not as familiar with, you know, especially the sound signature of Yamaha since I've only owned one of them, and it was an old one. So, is the 3080, is that a receiver or is that a preamp?
Yeah, it's a 30. It's a receiver.
Gotcha.
I had the 2080, which is like $1,600, and the 3080, I think, is closer to 2,000, maybe more. I'm not sure. Yeah, but I mean, you know, I would just try it out, see what's up. If you notice a difference, keep it. If you don't notice a difference, return it.
And the truth is too, with all of, well, a lot of hi-fi, is there's always that law of diminishing return. And that's why I try not to kind of really say, I think it's worth it, because what is worth it to you may not be worth it to me, and vice versa. You know, some people say, well, is the additional $1,000 between this product and this product, you know, is that worth it? It's going to be up to you. You got to decide on that, you know? So, and like Chana said, you know, you're going to have to, if you heard them side by side, then you can determine, was that additional cost worth it for me?
Right. Right.
I mean, within your budget and you're happy with it, go for it.
And I think the cool part is we're in the time where it's like, yeah, they'll take your returns, bro. Yeah. Like, this is not like back in the day, you buy it from this mom and pop, you know, hi-fi spot or home theater spot. And you're like, oh, well, you got a week to check it out and return it. No, you get like 30-day, 45-day now, you know.
You need to make a t-shirt with your phrase, just return that.
Just return that shit.
The infamous Optimus Vader and Kanga Empire finally in here. What's up?
What's up, fellas?
What's up, guys?
We have a great question from Graham here. Is there such thing as too much power?
Ooh, that's
a good one. I did a video on that.
I mean, what do you guys think? What do you think, Mr. Video Man?
I did one called, you know, is there such thing as overkill? And pretty much the premise behind that video is I would rather have too much power than not enough. Because if you don't have enough power and you're driving, especially in a home theater setup or even in a 2-channel setup, and you hit those low impedance, you know, dips from like big bass notes, it's going to really, really tax that amplifier. And when that amplifier kind of gets taxed and it gets, you know, it's draining those resources, you're going to get into distortion, and you could possibly get into clipping. And if you start clipping your speakers, you're going to toast them quick. And the last thing you want to be doing is, you know, damaging your speakers. And so I would rather have too much, you know, and there's different rules of thumb. Probably a good rule of thumb is just double. You know, if your speakers can handle 100 watts, there is no problem sending them or, you know, pairing them up with an amplifier that's 200 watts per channel. So,
yeah, I have a thing on that. And I would say, you know, typically what they say is exactly what you're saying is, you know, it's those square waves that really blow a speaker up, right? So you can have a 50-watt amp and you can fry a speaker if you're sending it pure distortion, right?
Garbage.
Yep. It's totally possible. And what I would say is you can get a more powerful amplifier, right? Like you can get as much power as you want, right? Even if your speakers say only 100 watts and you can have one that's 500 watts per channel, but you better know what to look for when the speaker is actually reaching its mechanical limits. And so what I would say is, you know, you can play audible distortion. Let's say the amplifier is not powerful enough or it's not good wattage, and you'll hear that right away, right? So when you hear your speaker sound kind of like, everybody knows the sound of distortion when you've turned it up too high. But the thing is, a lot of people might not know the symptoms or the signals to let you know that the speaker can't handle it. So if your amplifier is like more than capable enough, but your speakers start to hit their limits, so a few things, and they're all bad things, right? So here's when you know your speaker's about to blow up, right? You start smelling smoke. You smell something funny. That's not good. That's the voice coil is burning up. Right? Yeah. It's too hot. It can't dissipate the heat fast enough. When it bottoms out, so the voice coil hitting the bottom of the motor structure, that's a bad sound.
There's also the other end where like the spider is hitting the dust cap on the front. Yeah. You get some of those going.
Like, that's no good. Those are very bad things.
Doesn't sound natural. You're like doing damage.
You can only handle it. Can only handle those for like, who knows? If it hits, it depends on how hard it hits that the bottom of the motor structure. But it could dent that. So the voice coil is supposed to be nice and round, and so if it starts getting like bent, then it's going to start rubbing against the side of the magnet, and so that'll mess it up even further. So you have to know what you're doing. In that case, I would say I would rather have audible distortion if you don't know what you're doing, right? Because once you get more experience, you start realizing like, oh, this speaker is starting to hit its mechanical limits. You can kind of hear it giving you hints. It's like, look at that woofer is kind of going it's going pretty far. It looks like it's about to like pop off of this speaker, right? And you see it reaching the X max, which is as far out as that woofer can go. And that's just the woofer. How do you know what the tweeter can handle? You don't really see anything, right? So that might blow and you just don't even know it.
Yeah.
So you have to be more careful. So I would say the safest bet is get something around what it's rated for, right? And if it's much more powerful, be careful.
I think the thing too that sometimes people don't realize is, they buy a 200-watt amplifier and they think that, okay, when I turn this thing on and I'm watching a movie, I mean, it's just feeding nonstop 200 watts, so there's just that thought. And so that's not the case. I mean, most of the time, and again, depending on the level of sensitivity of your speakers, you may only be feeding it 10 watts or 20 watts or 50 watts, and it's only during some of those major massive peaks that it'll just kind of have that burst of power and then it'll just pull back.
Like going from a quiet scene to all of a sudden explosion somewhere. Yeah.
So, if you ever see the little Macintosh, they got the little needle and they're cranking some music, man. It's like 10 watts.
Yeah.
Wow.
Everybody needs one of those.
Yeah.
Everybody needs two.
Ooh,
so Juan says, I can only run 5.2.4, so I have a Denon X4500H. That's what Joe has. But the sound processing to me isn't that good. That's why I asked about the Yamaha Aventage A2080 internal components. Let's see, Juan, have you used the Denon app, and have you tried maybe doing a curtain at what do you think, Joe?
500 is a safe place.
Yeah, if you haven't tried that, give that a go. Yeah, it's $20 for the app if you don't have it already, and see if that figures it out. You can make the multiple profiles on the app, which is cool, but try that before you go around and spend $1,600 on a new AVR.
Yeah, so that's a great point. I mean, definitely get the app, right? And Phil Jones actually said that you get better results when you use the app versus using the calibrate. I was amazed when he told me that.
Me too. Really? He's like, this has more processing power than the AVR does, and I do believe when he said it like that, I'm like, oh yeah, totally
makes sense.
Like, so you get better results, like not just faster. Like yeah, the results are better. I'm like, oh, okay. App from now on.
The one thing you will actually, I've never seen the app actually detect the AVR. So just type in the AVR's IP address.
What?
Mine does it. Mine
always does.
Baby steps, man. Baby steps. Like I said,
you have to
the app
in the IP address.
The app is called the Audyssey Editor app. It's for iOS and Android. Audyssey is that Audyssey
XT32?
Yeah. Well, on his receiver, yeah.
It's the editor app, Audyssey editor.
app. Yeah.
So yeah, spend the $20 on that. And what Chana was saying about the limiting it. So what you might want to try is don't allow it to fix the frequencies above 500 hertz. So just let it fix 500 hertz and below to fix the bass and all that, and let the speakers play naturally how they want to play, because it might be applying too much processing and kind of in a weird way, right? And so you might hear that you might notice that it sounds worse when it applies processing above 500 hertz. And so experiment and see which one you like better. I like it with it only doing 500 hertz and below. I used to have it full range, and it tried to do too much. So try that.
I mean, and chances are, if your speakers are capable, like, you don't need any room correction above, a certain level.
We got something from Miguel too over here. What does he say?
What you got?
Miguel 515.
Whoa. Black.
11. He says, so Juan says, Miguel says, I added, where are you? I just added the OSD Black 5-channel amplifier, but I'm having some ground issues. Would be the best way to take care of this issue. I didn't have this issue before.
Oh man, ground lift. Fuck, $2 on Amazon for a 2-pack. It's a ground lift. Hold on. I use this all the time in DJing. And it's basically changing a 3-prong to a 2-prong. Ground lifts. Yeah, you've seen these before, Joe. It's basically
it's a converter. It removes the ground from the
prong. And you see it actually has like a little ground built into it.
We call them cheater plugs.
That's weird. So I don't have experience with that amplifier.
Yeah.
So I can't say anything about it.
So ideally, you want to try to fix the problem and figure out why you're getting a ground loop hum. And honestly, they can be absolutely a pain in the butt to try to troubleshoot. I used to get a big ground hum in all of my subwoofers when I had, or before I installed a dedicated 20 amp circuit, because what was happening is I had my lighting that was on the same circuit as my equipment. And so you've got all this other, and I'm not an electrician by any means, but basically by separating that, now you've got just your AV components on that circuit. And so that helped me. But the cheater plug is, it's an easy trial to figure out, okay.
Does that help a lot of times?
Yeah, sometimes it does. It depends. And again, I don't know what,
I use those things all the time when I'm doing an event. Because a lot of the places here in Mammoth, there's this one spot, it was made in 1950, and there's only one plug. There's literally only one plug in the whole place, and I get this buzzing sound through my PAs. So I was like, oh crap, boom, put one of those ground lifts on there, gone.
That's it.
Yeah.
Huh. Yeah. I always thought it was just like something you had to use in case you had like a 3-prong and you only
had a 2-prong outlet or something.
I didn't know it fixed anything.
Yeah.
Yeah, because you're supposed to actually, that little metal tab, you're supposed to actually screw that into the outlet so it gets a ground, right? But yeah, I use them all the time in certain venues. I already know which ones I have to use them at. But yeah, it gets rid of that hum. Try that. It's the easiest, quickest way to do it. I mean, you can get them for like less than $1 at an actual store. Yeah.
What I don't know is there any like dangers to your equipment because it's not grounded?
I wonder if there's any like power conditioning type of things, like those things that you guys use.
Furman, probably. Like the Panamax and the what's the other company? Furman.
Furman, yeah. I mean, does Monster still make those things? I don't even know.
I had one before. It fried.
I did buy this.
I got a Monster HDMI on the way. It's supposed to be here today. It's hilarious.
What's funny about that?
I don't know. It's just like, I was tricked into spending like $100 on each of them, back in the day, and I was like, man, this is whack. Okay. I didn't need that.
So I've got old school not Monoprice, monster cable, banana plugs, and they're literally my favorite plugs.
Oh, those things are the shit. I have those. I use those exclusively.
They are phenomenal. I've never had them come loose. I mean, they're solid, very solid build. They're heavy, so I like them, man.
Let's see. Jonathan Odell says, what is he saying? Where are you? Will there be more seminars at the HiFi Summit? Yes, there will be. We have a lot. Basically, we're trying to figure out the schedule, and so companies are moving stuff around. So I don't have everything listed just because they're all kind of moving around still. But yeah, we definitely have. It's going to be full, right? I'm pretty sure the 5 days are all going to be packed with seminars, and maybe not Sunday. I feel like a lot of these people are just not doing anything on Sunday. So, you know, whatever. But the rest of the days are all pretty packed already.
Yeah, it's pretty exciting. Pretty exciting. I can't wait.
Chana, what are you up to? You're going to do something every night, or, well, we'll figure that out. Might not even have to be every night, but
yeah, we'll see.
Make sure it's fun.
You know what? I was I was able to get Twitch affiliate after this last stream, and then this Monday today, Twitch just laid down the hammer and will like close off channels for doing a live DJ stream.
Oh.
So I was like, okay, well, I'll just perform live music then. So then there we go.
There you go.
I'm okay, but like, I was kind of messed up. Oh, dude, did you see? I got all brand new frames and like,
yeah, you went
not
all
the
out.
visuals, but I got like all this other like twitchy stuff. I got 2 camera frames and it's all like motion, and it has all my, you know, I had my graphics guy too. It was pretty cool.
That's cool, man. Investing in yourself.
Yeah. All right. Where are we at?
We got about 15 minutes left. So
I'm trying to find the question. Somebody asked a question about the JTR, but I don't see it.
Oh,
where's it at?
And a call. You guys can always call in if you want.
Toodaloo asks, Emotiva amplifiers same level as Monolith. What do you guys think?
I didn't hear any difference between the X11 Monolith and the XPA 11. ATI is known to make really great amps.
And that's who makes the Monoprice ones, right?
That's correct.
Which one did you like better?
Like I said, as far as sound, to me, the bigger difference between those two amplifiers in particular is the Emotiva, for whatever reason, they throw a bunch in those front 3 channels. What is it, like 350?
300. 300. Oh, it could be 3. No, I think it's 300.
I think 300 by 3, but then the side surrounds and your back surrounds and your Atmos channels only get 65 watts a channel. And again, you know, you're not using, you know, all of the wattage, you know, at one time kind of thing, but the Monolith is a lot more balanced. So you get 200 by 3, and then you get 100 by 8.
Right.
You know,
and that's the same with the 9-channel versions. I had the 9-channel versions of both.
Gotcha.
And that was one of the things, like 300 watts up front and then 65 everywhere else.
Like
the disparity is too great, I think.
It's like, why did you go with that? Why didn't you make it more even? You know, I'd rather see 150 across the board than 365, you know? So I don't know, but it was just a decision that they made. So, but as far as sound quality, I think both of them sound great. So there's that question. I couldn't find it. Should I get a JTR Captivator RS1 or the dual? Oh man. See, now he's comparing he's comparing a single sealed 18-inch
with dual, what, 12?
Dual ported 12, you know. I haven't heard the RS1. I've got the RS2s, which have dual 18s. They're ridiculous. I was talking to Jeff not too long ago, and he said the RS1s are definitely kind of like his best seller because it's just an incredible powerhouse. And it you know, it's definitely one of his more affordable.
Rob says that the RS1 will destroy the SB3000.
Yeah. Now he's talking 2 of them though. I mean, I'm not saying it won't. I'm just saying, to me, it's hard. I mean, there's a bunch of differences in there. You've got 2 ported versus 1 sealed 18. Now I can tell you this: the RS1 is going to hit lower, more than likely. I mean, mine are flat down to 10 hertz. SVS is not going to do that. They're going to go down to about 17, maybe 16, something like that. So
it's crazy. Daniel says, "Can I call you guys?" Yeah, there's the number. Give us a ring. We're ready.
Make sure you don't have it on silent there, Joe.
No, I'm looking right at it, so I'm ready.
Rob, what are you rocking in your setup? Just curious. On your subwoofers.
Where is he? Rob E.
Yeah, he just asked a question about this, or he was saying that the JTR is going to destroy the PB3000s. And
Here we go. Here we go. Here's the call. You are on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from? Oh, you got to turn back. You got to turn down your audio from your computer.
Hello?
Hello?
We can't hear you at all.
We can't hear you at all.
Just getting feedback.
Make sure you turn down your volume
there you go.
on
Yeah, that was
whatever
weird.
you're listening to us on.
I also just updated this Rodecaster, so it could be I'm using a beta version, so I'm living on the edge over here.
It's like we're gonna
It could be
test it
that.
out tonight
It
live.
could be that too. Yeah.
That's awesome. Okay, cool. He's got some PSA and a PB4000. So
I can sound like I'm in a huge room right now. Hello?
Nice setup.
Oh, he's got more coming too.
Oh yeah, look at there. Oh, dude, he's got the new ones. 1812.
Rhythmic.
Demo the Rhythmic. That's one of the subwoofers I haven't had a chance. I think we've talked about this many times.
Mm-hmm.
Like I think all of us kind of reached out to him, said, "Hey," and they're like, "Crickets."
If I were Rhythmic, I would want to make sure.
Yeah.
I would want to make sure to send a subwoofer to Youth, man. It's just good business.
Bring it, man.
Test them out. I'm kind of curious.
I'm not scared to play with the big boys, man.
I know you can handle it. You have the room for it.
Yeah.
That's right. He's a horny guy.
Yeah, you got it, man.
There he is. Got to make him roll his eyes once every episode.
I didn't roll it. I just laughed.
He did it. He just went with it.
Yeah,
Damn it. Now
It's
I
like-
can't say it anymore. He's
It is
found
what
the
it is,
secret.
man. It is what it is.
Let's
Sometimes
see.
you just gotta own it, you know.
That's one of the best Instagram videos on my page, dude. It's so hilarious.
Oh my gosh.
120.
4000 PB4000 is a beast.
Color brand Crickets.
Cool. So Juan has a question. What's your favorite Blu-ray 4K Blu-ray so far in 2020 in terms of audio and video? In 2020.
I actually haven't bought any. No, I did. I bought Jumanji: The Next Level because it's in IMAX enhanced. I think that's the only one I bought.
I haven't purchased any Blu-rays in a long time. I did like the way that what was a Ford versus Ferrari sounded, but I don't know if that's
That's funny.
what happened.
Oh, Kanga would be hilarious if an audio company called their brand Crickets.
Yeah.
We do have a phone company, called Cricket.
Cricket Wireless, yeah.
It's like, who would want a Cricket phone? I mean, I don't know.
What service you guys got? I got AT&T. I got T-Mobile. What do you got? Cricket.
Verizon.
T-Mobile.
T-Mobile. Cricket. Check out Underwater. Horrible movie. Great LFE.
I heard that.
Isn't that the case with a lot of movies? It's like there are a lot of stuff I recommend. I'm like, the movie's okay, but man, it sounds awesome, So
Yeah.
just check out
know,
scenes.
one of the first reference Dolby Atmos movies was the Power Ranger movie.
Oh man.
So it would had some great Atmos scenes, but this movie's just trash.
Dudes running around in spandex and
Yeah.
faces killing.
big old gold monster thing. It was also the first Dolby Vision disc.
Yeah.
That had human.
Oh, there we go.
Yeah.
Hey,
Okay, there.
what's your name?
all right,
Where are you calling from? What's your question?
I'm Daniel from Canada.
Hey,
Alberta.
What's up, buddy?
Not too bad. How about yourself, guys?
We're good, man. Thanks for calling in from Canada.
All right.
What's your question?
Yeah, thanks for getting me in, actually. I was talking to you about the eco mode on and off. I tested it. It seems to be the same.
Yeah.
I was thinking getting the 3700 because I bought the 3600 3 months ago, and I'm pretty much satisfied with it. Do you think I should upgrade or just leave it be?
That's the age-old
What would
question.
be the reasoning behind upgrading to? What were you thinking?
I have the Panasonic GZ1000, and it supports HDR10. Although there's not many HDR10 plus. Sorry, there's not a lot of HDR10 plus content. So I was thinking maybe we get the 3700 instead of switching the HDMI cables all the time.
Right.
What do you think, Shauna?
I mean, yeah, that's the funniest thing with HDR10 plus. Like Panasonic and Samsung were all on board, and then I think recently a couple of production houses dropped it. So, are we going to get any more HDR10 plus content? I have no clue, but you have the TV, you have the capability. What 4K player are you using? One of the Panasonics?
Yeah, the UB9000.
Oh, UB9000. Yeah. So yeah, I mean, that was the one cool part about, the new Denon announcement is that all the, 700 series AVRs are going to have HDR10 plus support, pass-through support, which is actually last year I asked Yamada-san, the engineer, that question. I'm like, hey, if we're going to do HDR10 plus support, is it a firmware update? Or he said, no, it's hardware. I'm like, oh, so it has to be a new product. And then we went from the X3600H to the 3700H this year. So they added that. So that's kind of cool. So I like that AVR. It's a good one. But it all depends. Like, if you really need that functionality, and have you watched anything in HDR10 plus or?
Yeah, I watched a couple of things. It's better than HDR10, in my opinion. But as you guys say, there's not a lot of content in HDR10 plus, so might not be worth the upgrade to the 700.
I mean, can you wait? I always say, like, it's the best idea is to wait. If you're like on the fence on when to upgrade, or there's not enough content, or this, that, and the other, the whole part of being an early adopter is you waste a lot of money on shit you don't need, and all of a sudden they're like, hey, we're gonna put out some more stuff.
That's right.
And then the stuff never gets put out, and then you're like, well, I put out my money, can I get a refund? No, you can't. So it's one of those things that kind of sucks with this technology stuff. So
HD DVD.
Oh man.
Oh, yeah. That died pretty quickly.
Yeah.
yeah,
I had one. I got one as a gift, and I was like, oh. I don't know if that
1917 is an HDR10 plus. That's cool. I didn't know.
So
that.
yeah, is that your main reason for wanting to upgrade, or other reasons as well?
No, also that I can turn the ability of the every speaker that I have to preamp mode. Because right now the 3600, it's either the Atmos or the stereo setup.
Mm-hmm.
But I tried to connect the pre-outs to the preamp, which I have two Alpha Model 5000.
Mm-hmm.
For now, I might be getting a third one to power all the 11 channels.
Oh.
Instead from the Denon.
Got it.
And
so
I don't know. So far, not making any issues.
So what would you say to that then, Shauna? Like, if he just wants to use it as a preamp?
A preamp mode?
Yeah.
I mean, that's exactly how it's designed. So, you're rocking what, a 724, something like that?
Correct.
Yeah. So, yeah, that would be definitely a way to get a cleaner signal from your preamplifier to your amplifier, and then ultimately to your speakers. So if I would put that higher than the HDR10 Plus pass-through compatibility, like for me, with what's happening, and unless we're getting, unless we have like 10 movie releases this year that have HDR10 Plus, like it's going to be slow moving. You know what I'm saying?
I highly doubt it.
Yeah.
I'm just asking your point of view.
Yeah. So how about this? What is the price of that, Chana, compared to, let's say, what we're used to for pre-pros?
I think it's $1,200. I could be wrong.
And what's the typical price of a pre-pro, Michael? You
25.
I mean, Marantz is going to be about 21, I think, for their
So it's kind of a deal if you're trying to go that route. If you're trying to go pre-pro and then you have external amplification, right?
Yeah.
So for that reason, whether you can hear a difference, I don't know. I haven't experimented, but it might be something you might want to try at least.
Well, Mike says he hears a difference.
Oh yeah,
when he from AVR to pre-pro.
Yes.
So
the AV7705 is. Oh shoot! I thought they had it on their website. Let's look at Amazon.
Yeah, you said you could hear a difference though.
When you did, Okay. And again, it wasn't like, oh my gosh, I can't believe I've been missing this all my life kind of transformation kind of thing. But yeah, definitely, I heard a difference. And like I said, mostly it was the channel separation just sounded cleaner with each channel. Like it was very, very unique per channel, is what I remember when I finally had a chance to hear it in my own setup.
Wow.
Yeah. Juan says he can, he meaning you, Daniel, can just connect one HDMI to the TV for HDR10 Plus and the other to the X3500H for audio, since Panasonic has dual, or whatever your receiver
you can split it. Yeah, there you go.
So you can do that as well.
Yeah, that's what I'm doing right now. But
okay.
when I want, that works too.
Yeah, Kanga says here. Pre-Pro definitely has audio clarity benefits.
So
I guess
cleaner
it's gonna be Pre-Pro.
Try it, right?
Yeah, try it out. And if you're getting a third Outlaw 5000, I would take one of them and just power the front stage with one, and then power your other speakers with the other two. You know what I mean? Does that add up to 11?
That's what I'm doing right now.
Oh, okay. Okay, cool. Perfect.
Well, each one of them is 5 channels, so I'll have one speaker powered through the Denon itself, or the Pre-Pro that I'll have in the future.
Gotcha.
No, sorry.
Yeah, Daniel, I mean, if you decide to go that route, if you want to try it out, give us some feedback. Let me know if you can hear a difference. I'm kind of curious to see if you go that route, like if you could or could not hear the difference. I'm very curious.
Yeah, I'll give a shout whenever I get the chance to do that.
Yeah, use Chana's method of trying. What is it? What's your line, Chana?
Try it. If you don't like it, return that shit.
There you go.
Yeah, exactly.
Sorry, Sound United, but that is
that's his mantra.
Yes.
I was watching the new Denon releases with Sound United guy. I can't remember his name.
Phil Jones.
Phil. And I was also, I was thinking to get a, let's say, 13, 15 channel setup that I can go from DTSX and Auro 3D to Atmos. And it's going to be a lot of money. And I thought to myself, why would I need to do that? Everything right now, most of the content is 5 channel or 7 channel.
Yeah.
Mostly on the Blu Rays, even on streaming services. It's a good thing to have all of those speakers, but I don't think I should.
Well, it's not all about need.
Sometimes more isn't better. It's not all about need.
Definitely you don't need that. You don't even need a home theater.
Yeah, I've said that many times.
Kind of cool too.
Yeah.
No, I love it. I love it.
If you want it, you just treat yourself. That's my line.
Treat yourself. Yeah. He always tells Chana, man, buy that. You deserve it.
You deserve it. You work hard.
And then guess what? Chana buys it. Chana's looking for anybody to just give him permission to swipe the card or place the order, check out. It's like been sitting in his cart for like 2 months. He's like, Joe says, "You deserve it." He's like, "Buy now, baby." Ching.
These guys, don't listen to these guys.
It's true, man. The funny stuff in life is the stuff that's true.
Yeah. Can't
What
write
do you
this
think,
shit.
Daniel?
I was thinking I have the Polk Signature series right now, and I was thinking getting the Polk Legends. If,
That's a nice upgrade.
but I'm not sure if the Outlaw Model 5000 can support the power of those speakers.
Well, you know, baby
that
steps,
decision.
right?
From the Signature to that's the upgrade that I would do. If you had to choose between them, that's what I would do. Upgrade those speakers, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
'Cause
because the AVR is
totally
gonna
different
always be
lines.
there.
You know, from
they are.
Signature to the Legend series, that's a huge upgrade.
And the reality too, think about this. Your speakers can last for a long, long time. Your
Mhm.
receiver
Right.
isn't.
I've heard people keep it for decade 2, 3
Mine are 4 decades old.
without any problem. There you go.
Yeah.
They literally were made in 1980.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Get the best you can afford. I think you'll notice the biggest change in sound with better speakers.
hmm I also have 2 PB1000, and I love them. Don't get me wrong, but I was thinking in the future probably upgrade to 2 PB3000.
That'd be a good choice. The PB3000 is a pretty sweet subwoofer.
Very capable.
Yeah, I was very impressed with just.
Do you have
What
any
was
other recommendations? Other subs to get?
I mean, a lot of guys say, at least check into like Su Audio, HSU. There's Rhythmic. I mean, there's a bunch of different companies out there.
What is the price on this? $13.99. I mean,
what's that on the PB?
The PB3000 is $13.99. I have dual Rel 15-inch. They're sealed. They're pretty banging, but they're $1,700 each. So it's a bit of a price difference.
Sure.
So it all depends. But they are small. They're surprisingly smaller. 2 of those fit in the same spot where the PB4000 used to sit. And then it takes up less space visually and like on the floor.
Yeah.
So.
I see. I'll look it up too.
Yeah.
So definitely check those out. Like I said, HSU, Rhythmic Audio. At least just kind of see what else is out there. I think it's so easy for us to just recommend what a lot of people have, and not that SVS is bad, but just find out what's going to best fit your needs and your desires. Maybe you need a subwoofer that goes deeper, or maybe you want a larger subwoofer. SVS is only going to go up to a 15-inch subwoofer. So.
But SVS are tried and true though. So
yeah. Oh, absolutely, and their customer service is incredible.
Phenomenal. 45-day in-home trial if you buy direct. That's huge. So you can try it out. If you don't like them, return it. It's all good.
They're saying it right there. They advertise that. So I think you get a lot with SVS.
There's no
there's
doubt.
a lot of options, but they're popular for a reason, right?
Yeah.
They're popular because they perform well, because they look pretty cool, because they have DSP. They do a lot of things well, and they keep the price right. I think very few people have regrets going with the SVS, right? You never hear people like, "Oh, I wish I wouldn't have got this." Not really.
Should have bought something else. No, you don't hear that.
Buying another SVS, or I wish I would have got the bigger one, something like that. But for the most part, most people are happy with a company. So I think that's important too. And
I had
Go ahead.
I had an issue with one of the subs. I was rattling between 35 and 50 hertz. Contacted SVS. They said, contact the company. I bought it from Amazon. Amazon was shipping from a different sub company. Contact that sub company. They sent me a new driver, replaced it. Issue gone.
Right. There you go. And you know what? The other thing I would say is if you're going to order from SVS, I would recommend buying directly from their site at that particular point. You know what I mean?
Oh, they redirected me to the companies in Canada that sell.
Yeah, he's in Canada. So
I got you. Sorry, I have a kid crying in the background here. But no, that makes sense.
That's okay. Yeah, and I cannot get the Polk. I want the Polk Legend L600, but they don't sell them yet in here. And they sell the L100s for 17 or 1800 Canadian.
Yeah, that's their bookshelf speakers.
The smallest of them.
Yeah.
They are not cheap.
No, not at all. Not at all. But hey, as Joe always says to me, you deserve it.
Yes. Well,
for now, I'm happy with what I have.
Yeah.
Well, thanks.
But if you were to spend a bunch of money, I would always spend it on the speakers as opposed to the electronics.
Gotcha. All right. Thank you guys very much for your help. Appreciate it.
Absolutely, man.
Hey, thanks for the call, man.
Thanks for calling, brother.
No problem. Have a good one.
You too.
Bye-bye.
Thanks.
Sorry, I had to mute myself for a little bit.
Oh, you're good, man. Hey,
That's all good.
trust me. RTS, I like that, dude.
Yeah.
That's a new.
Well, we're at an hour 40, so
Yeah.
we did it. We did it.
DJ, man, lead us out. Give us some funky music.
Anything else you guys want to add before we go? What's up, the regular guy audio over there? I see you.
RJ, what's up? Yep. Dan, what's up? Rob,
Fabian's excited about the HiFi Summit.
Yeah. What's up, Fabian?
Matt, thanks for sending a notification. Yes, we do this every Monday, 4 p.m. Pacific Standard Time.
Very cool.
Yeah.
Dad, you're making Dan Huck an SVS fanboy.
I have a lot of videos coming out very soon. I've been quiet for a little while. Been busy. HiFi Summit, all that, but I do have lots of videos coming up, so be on the lookout for that. How about you guys?
Yeah. Finally, I ordered some HDMI cables from Amazon 3 weeks ago. Guess when they were arriving?
Took a little bit.
Hopefully today. But I've been waiting to make an eARC video, and I need these cables, so it's been very frustrating.
The other ones weren't working, right? The HDMI you had.
No, there's some special things you need.
To have eARC support, but they weren't.
True Voice of Reason. Have you seen 123 Toyd's new sub? I have not seen it yet. I gotta go check it out. But yeah, maybe Legendary Browno, maybe we can have you on one of these days. So consider that. That's pretty much it. That's all I got.
Cool, man.
Yeah, Rob E says he's got his ticket to the HiFi Summit, and hit that button, Joe.
Yeah, I got you.
Oh yeah, ladies and gentlemen, this was the Daily HiFi Podcast. From all of us here at Daily HiFi, myself, Michael, and Joe, we thank you for showing up. Again, we do this every Monday, 4 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, and you can call in with your questions. We talk hi-fi, we talk AV. Everything you need to know is going down right here. So make sure you're subscribed up. And if you want the audio version, there's a link down in the description to take you to the audio-only podcast version. All right? See you next time.
Oh, yeah. See you guys.
Peace.